kinda lost and find. Ended the game in overtime, drawing of a new design, drilling that one earth of mine. Looking to the outward, speaking mind about words absurd, blurred to the curb, walking along the verb.
Hey everybody, what is happening? Ish de la Ish back with another part of my Madden 17 Houston Texans offensive ebook guide here. We're going to go back into Singleback today. We're going to go into number 3, Ace Twins in Singleback. As you see there, it's going to be 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, running back out there. So that's going to be the formation. So do whatever you have to in that as far as your audibles, moving people around. We're going to start out here. We're going to start with the play action Texan boot right here, PA Texan boot. And put a little different flavor on this one. We're going to take B and put a slant on B to get more separation. We're going to get RB blocking, and then we're going to take X. We're going to motion him in, and right when you see the defender probably come up to where B, where he gets in there, that's where you're going to snap it. If you're zoomed in, you'll see the defender show up first, snap it then, and that way you don't get crossed in and it'll bump you too much, and then you go right there. A lot of times you can actually hit a down, pass, lead, down, and right, and stuff like that, so you're just hitting those windows in there, but you're going to want to possession catch that. We're getting into this with this formation. There's going to be a few of these type of plays that I have to work on it also because I just haven't been doing it very much, but more and more, and this one right here, you're placing yourself in harm's way, but there is windows to make these plays, but it's always best you know, just to play it safe though, and possession catch these when you see people around. Right there you can turn under, you know, like I say, I throw that one down, I'll click on the receiver, and then I will, you know, kind of turn right and down into that one also and get that spec catch on those. So I'm mainly going to hit that one on this just so you can see how it goes. That pass right there, what it is, you're streaking, and then you just hold right when you put a right bullet on a lot of those, and it pulls your guy off to the right there. And so a lot of guys don't realize that it's going to come back across because it goes straight off after you motion it, but then you hit right there when you notice there's that little hitch, you hit a right bullet there, and like I said, you can click on the guy there, possession catch that one, and get that down. Now of course you're going to have these routes underneath. You get the slant coming to the right, you have the delay there with Y. With Y there also, he will sometimes release. You may want him just to block if there's a lot of pressure coming, and not even let him release just to play it safe, because you're gonna have those 2 routes, and then you're gonna have that deeper route. So hopefully that'll be enough for you to get by. Otherwise maybe just scramble if need be, but for the most part you'll be able to hit this as long as you're not throwing it too often. Now there's going to be a common theme with this set here, with this Singleback Ace Twins, which will always have a somewhat of a deep middle passing option in a lot of these plays when you're going to have a drag, a slant, or an in underneath there. We're going to be trying to pin the user in the middle of the field there to have to choose in between the routes, you know, if we can, to that way, you know, but this is not going to be a formation because of that you're going to want to sit in for long. What I do is I run a couple plays, leave, and come back. When I was testing this out in real games, I played a season of it, you know, the more and more I did it too long in there, you know, that's when people can get a read on what you're doing. So this is one where I'll mix into my other heavier formations that I live in. This is the X spot. We're going to put X on a slant, Y is on a drag in there. Here we are motioning. B is what you saw at the beginning out there, and right when he gets about to the numbers, see the numbers I'm saying out here, so right when he gets about to the 40, that's about the good spacing. You can let that go. You don't want to be too close. He's going to break late also, so you have both of those guys coming across. If you've got good enough blocking there, you can go for some of those deeper hitters if you want on that one. So you're not really going to have a lot of underneath running it this way. This is more if you're trying to press the ball down the field with that sort of thing, though. You know, but you'll have that drag if you put that drag on. Sometimes I'm blocking that, doing different things here in the setup, but you'll have that drag coming across, the X coming across the bottom side of it, and then the deeper play to the A, and then the B there, just depending on where you're going. So you're starting to show it back again with the underneath routes. But you know, if you put the outside slant like on a streak out there, you can try and pull the top off, you know, if need be. But you know, more than likely you're better off having those checks to the right there, you know, if you don't like it, if it's covered up. But otherwise, this one coming across when it hits the turn there is going to be fairly effective also. You know, with those routes right there. See that one right there? It's not getting the any delay off the motion. So it's really weird. Some of the stuff has delays in this, some doesn't. Most of the stuff that I'm using doesn't have any effect there. I mean, there's no speed boost, but again, I've never really used that anyway. There's never a reason I did any motioning anyway. So it's just for routes in certain areas of the field to help it out. We're going to go out here. As you see, we got the Texan post now. You know, we've got that auto motion out there. We're going to block that one up. We're going to take the X, motion them to the right side of the field here. We'll show a couple ways here. And then we're going to be putting a slant out there just to get it a little bit better space. And again, this one's going to be coming back. You're going to be hitting again more of a right bullet. You know, for the most part, most pace. Sometimes you can go up. Just depends. A lot of the times it's going to be right. So you're going to have both of those kind of that can merge there on you know, on that. If you get bumped and stuff like that, there can kind of cross up. But so you'll have kind of man beaters. You know, just because of, you know, having them underneath there. So if you want A, you can put A on a drag. Put A on a slant, running more of a you know, either one as far as that side if you want to run it back that way also. So just kind of depending, you know, on these. A lot of these you can get your own sort of feel for that. So basically, like how often I'm going to be running these sort of plays really is going to come down to the person, you know, the user, where he's playing. Is he hanging deep in there? You know, if it's worth me running these versus you know, hitting them on the sides and whatnot. So some of the other you know, some of the other formations are going to hit that, you know, because this is now what, the eighth video we have out on this. So we've got all sort of different plays here. So you know, I've got even another formation I'll be looking at here to start up real soon also. Sorry I didn't get the beginning art here. This is the Texan Y drag, but basically we're putting Y on a flat, B is on a slant, and we're blocking the running back here. I don't really mess with any of the you know, play action stuff in this game because of blitzing, you'll get smoked, and I always like to block 6, you know, for all my plays if possible, and still find good ways to get you open and make it work, so that way, you know, it's easier to combat people who blitz. So again, here we got Y flat, B slant, RB block. So really just watching that Y off the line. You know, if they drop back, you know, just hit that one quick up, take your yards. You never know. Sometimes you can get it to break up. They were going to have their check-in under the middle there. That we're going to let that go. So that way, again, we got reasons to try to hold the user down. So that way, if he does, we can hit that X coming up and hit the bigger play. So you know, the only, you know, the thing, like, again, with this formation, you know, when I was just testing it out, the hard thing is you keep, you know, throwing downfield, looking for the big play. But really, you can get a lot of yards doing the check down, so you always got to keep that in mind. Do the reads, otherwise you force balls, and every so often you're going to throw a pick if you just continue to throw that deep middle ones over and over. But on almost all these formations here, you're going to have the element to hit that deep post, or, you know, the middle post. Either way, you know, you're going to have something like that where we can get chunky yards too if the guy starts committing to the underneath. So you're going to have to lure the players in with the you know, these little slants, the flats and stuff like that. And again, their possession catch those when you know it's coming. Even if, you know, it looks like they can hit a bit on you, you know, a good hit and all that. If you start the possession catch, sometimes they don't get the animation, and you just go down either way. So it can be a lifesaver there, especially since we're getting some guys pumped up. I mean, I had Landon Collins at 99 hit power for a bit here, but then I had made a switch there. So, but you know, it's out there now, so you got to watch out for that on the back end. Here we go, get another play out here. We're going to be looking at the play action vertical. Now this is kind of like the basic version of everything, in a sense, that we were running here that you can get off of. You got that mid route there that goes in and then bends over the middle, so you get the right pass lead, you know, for the deep pass. You put a slant on the X here is one way to run it. And then a drag off the RB. Now this is just showing the base way to run that. There you go. It's that delayed one coming in. As long as you got decent blocking, that B will normally get around, and then you break it. Then you break it in. So again, but a lot of these plays have those same elements. So right here, what we're doing is putting us X on a smart end. So I would say this is a play that you're going to want to run like on first down, or whenever there's even whenever there's yardage. You know, not short yards to gain. Not like, you know, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. Get yourself at least 10 yards out there needed to run it, because you want that. You want to do a in route on X and then smart route it so he does that deeper one. So that way, if now this play you want to call if the guy is chasing your deep route. If he's chasing it, you hit that. He's going to follow B, and then you're going to. If he's running like a cover 2, like a Tampa 2, which is 80% of the people now, he's going to be running off to the middle. And when that X comes back across on you know, the middle, you'll be able to hit that. So you want to be able to play. It's kind of like, you know, a game of chess that you're doing, you know, with users in there. So that's why some of these plays will have those effects. But we just want to find different ways, whether it's a deep income coming across, whether it's a curl underneath, a little hitch underneath, stuff like that, that, you know, he has to choose between the routes there, and that way if he is trying to use her, we can just try to, you know, just hit the opposite side of that and make it work, along with other elements on the field, you know. But as you see here, so this one, again, here, you're going to have that window open pretty well. That one's more, you know, a little bit quicker off of the release. Normally you can get that down to, if you get bumped, a lot of times you can hit a real nice spot in the middle on even like a cover 2 with a good bullet just straight up. So you just kind of have to watch how the release goes. You know, on the man stuff, it just depends how it breaks. You know how that goes. You got space there, but you never know. I mean, sometimes you'll get 8 up on any stuff, just the way the game is. But most of the time you have somebody wide, though. That's just by design. You normally get at least one person open. And here, if you're looking here, you know, when you make the tight end there, you know, more viable, if you want to throw that route, it is nice to like motion to the opposite side X there and put him on a fade after that, and then just try and hit it after it turns. It's not the best turning route there, though. That's, you know, it's a deep route, which is nice for A. As he put X over there, then we'll put him again on a put him either on a streak or, you know, a fade. Fade's probably good, but you see the way he turns there, it's not super sharp, so you might have to use that to make that play. So I'm not necessarily recommending it, but if you are trying to throw that, that's one way to get it more open, is streaking down there, you know, with you motion the guy over and pull that. So one more here real quick. This is going to be the play action FL stretch, flanker stretch, looks like, and this is going to put A on a curl, RB block, and X is going to be motion to the right when he sets. We can do this, and there we go. So again, this is what we're saying, is just sort of plays where you can go out and again, try to pin the user deep, you know, or underneath here. So we've got the A on the drag, so you see right there, and then he's got that deep B route. Y gets open pretty well. It's going to be a good man beater. It's pretty quick, so you can have that if a need be pressure comes up, and then X is just going to try and take that top and spread that, you know, spread the cover 2 over, so that way you have more room to complete that pass. So you're really looking out here, seeing where the user's going, if he's going to be following it deep. If he goes back down there, hit that. So just wait to see what he does before you make that throw. Otherwise, you'll have that Y coming down across. If he starts dropping back right away, just hit Y right underneath it all, and then turn that up. You know what I mean? No, you don't have, so you'll have kind of like the 3 right there. You can see where he's going. So you can, if you want, you can start hitting that Y real quick if he starts dropping back right away. So here's this kind of scheme. Like I say, bounce in and out of this. Don't sit in it too long, because there's a lot of similarities in here, like I say. But there are big chunks to hit here if you mix it incorrect. All right, thanks guys. Peace.